Tijani Reijnders signs for Manchester City. Now confirmed by the likes of Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein together this morning. Fabrizio doing his usual, here we go, and David Ornstein as well, announcing that Manchester City have completed the signing of Tijani Reijnders, and what a signing this could be. But both have actually given different figures, which I think is interesting. I think one is actually including the full package. Fabrizio Romano, as you can see, he is saying that Tijani Reijnders to Manchester City, here we go, verbal agreement in place for the Dutch midfielder to join Manchester City. Deal almost done since yesterday, as revealed, and now being finalised for package worth around 70 million euros. Personal terms sealed days ago and formal steps to follow. Absolutely buzzing. Now, David Ornstein, on the other hand, he says Manchester City reach agreement with AC Milan to sign Tijani Reijnders. 55 million euros, fixed fee plus bonuses. Now, whether those bonuses equate to the 15 million euros that are missing from what are included in Fabrizio's post to suggest that it's going to equate to 70 million euros, that's a lot of bonuses, you know, a large amount of bonuses. Big old pile of bonuses for Tijani Reijnders, 26-year-old midfielder, to sign a 5-year contract, which is great news. Dutch international will still need to undergo medical before completing move to AC Milan. Absolutely amazing news. City are making moves, man, and I'm so pleased to see it. I'm absolutely buzzing to see the moves that my football club are now making, and signing this player is a key component to a new midfield, a nucleus, a new epicentre for Manchester City fans to get excited about next season as well. Replacing the likes of Ilkay Gundogan. And don't forget, I actually think Ilkay Gundogan could stay. I think he could still be here next year and play a reasonable role, not to the extent of starting every week like he was doing last season. You know, I think there will be moments, big portions of the season where he is rested and wheeled out with a Zimmer frame to play some good football, potentially against lesser opposition. Maybe the last 15 minutes of games to see out games, just to make sure we can wrap our best players in cotton wool. And then bring on Gundogan. 15 minutes to go. We're 2-3-0 up. Bring on Gundogan. He's just a steady player. He's steady. He doesn't make mistakes. He's not ripping trees up at the minute, is he, compared to what he used to do? That's what Tijani Reijnders is here to do. You know? Tijani Reijnders is here to rip up the trees and then just bring on Gundogan to do a bit of ploughing after. Just to settle the soil down after those trees have been ripped up, you know, and calm everything down. I think Gundogan can play a part next season. I absolutely believe that. And I also think it's a like for like. As you can see, here you go. Data MB, courtesy of Data MB. These two players combined of the previous season as well, 24-25. That's just like for like. It's like for like, isn't it? Reijnders is the blue, a little bit further out in terms of forward passing and carrying as well. Progressive passes as well. Now, don't forget the information that I gave you. I've been giving it you multiple times, in fact, that he is very much a forward thinker. Now, Gundogan sat this season. He sat in defensive midfield alongside Kovacic or sometimes alongside Rico Lewis, which was not great to see, to be honest. But he has sat a lot this season and played that versatile role that like sort of blends into being a bit of an 8 as we have possession of the ball. But I also think he can't do that job that well, and don't give this player defensive responsibilities, because as you can see, the defensive actions, he's actually got better defensive actions and he wins more duels, Gundogan does, than Tijani Reijnders. So even more so with Reijnders, he should not be dropping any deeper than an 8. He should absolutely be our number 8, playing that role, and a very attack-minded one at that, and one that's exciting, one that's going to get you goals as well, because this guy knows where the back of the net is, mate. He knows where the back of the net is. At 26 years old as well, that's kind of, 25, 26, that's the perfect age. Great age. The perfect age to be signing a player in the peak. That is absolute peak years you are signing this player. Last season's Serie A Player of the Year as well. Now, I want to go back to the fee as well, because 55 million euros, even if you, let's go with Fabrizio. As a City fan, we're going to call it 55 million. Let's go with the 55. But everyone else is going to say 70 million euros. They're going to, the biggest figure out there, including all the packages. Now, whether that could include wages as well is an interesting figure to count that as well. It probably does. And if it's including wages, it's very unusual to see the wages being, it's not unusual for City. It's not unusual for City because that's what everyone does. Everyone includes the wages when City buy a player, and all the wages get ignored when anyone else buys a player to make it the most expensive looking signing in the world. But ultimately, David Ornstein's gone with the 55 million plus bonuses. Okay, so that's remarkably cheap for what I think is a sensational player, an absolutely class act talent that is going to be dictating midfields in a Manchester City midfield with the tutelage of Pep Guardiola. This guy's going to be pulling strings, getting goals, getting assists. And it's so exciting to think that this is the first of potentially quite a few. I mean, I'm feeling good, man. I am so ready for next season. Are you ready for next season? Because I don't think the Premier League are ready for next season. I did the video yesterday where we saw all the doubts that were pouring out around Manchester City and how we are now being doubted, and that excites me. I'm so buzzing at the idea that people think, nah, they're not the same anymore. City are finished. Great. Take that pressure away, because quietly we'll just bring in Tijani Reijnders, we'll just bring in Ryan Cherki. And the figures we're spending on these players, if it's 55 million euros for Tijani Reijnders, some people are saying 30 million euros. Well, what I've read, that there is a 22.5 verbal agreement between Ryan Cherki and Leon that gives him it's a release clause that would allow him, it's more of a verbal release clause, I believe, as well, due to Leon's personal circumstances as to the fact that they face preliminary relegation because of the financial turmoil that they find themselves in. As a result, Cherki can go on the cheap. So you equate that. Okay, let's call it the 30 million euros and round it up to the euros, as everyone often does. 30 million plus 55 million for Tijani Reijnders and Ryan Cherki. I'm struggling not to smirk at the idea of spending that amount of money on those two players. And it just, I mean, I wouldn't even go as far to say it softens the blow for losing Wirtz. It makes me not give a shit, to be honest. Quite frankly, it genuinely makes me go, so what, man? 130 million for Wirtz. You're paying top dollar to get a top player. Liverpool, 100%. There is no denying the talent that they are signing. That's one player, though. Squads win titles. Squads, 100%. And to bring in two players of that quality, you know, I'm absolutely buzzing at the potential of Manchester City's midfield next season. You know, Rodri, Reijnders and Cherki as a midfield three. You could see Ryan Cherki drift out wide a little bit. You could see Foden returning to his best. In which case, Reijnders and Cherki have a job getting back into the side. Because if we get Foden, 23-24 season version of Phil Foden, then we're laughing all the way to the bank, mate, because we've got absolutely an array of talent that is going to be the envy of the Premier League. A midfield to die for, with the greatest, most lethal goal scorer on the fucking planet ahead of them. You know, we need to improve our wing play. I think that's an area that is still an area for concern for me. Could we see Cherki go out wide and Marmoush go out wide? Potentially. There's definitely been goals added to the wide play of Manchester City, but Savinho and Doku's future then is brought into question as to why did we even sign them, and it's a bad job if we end up using those two players and Cherki and Marmoush as wide players instead. I think we could do that a little bit more narrow and have overlapping runs, whether it be Livramento on the right. Signing him from Newcastle is a possibility. A hard one, because I think Newcastle are going to play hard ball with regards to Livramento. Ryan Aït-Nouri sounds like he's very much going to be signing for Manchester City in the very near future as well. Fucking hell, man. I'm absolutely buzzing my tits off right here, mate. Absolutely buzzing. Manchester City doing the business. Doing the good business as well. Financially sound business that we are doing right now. Oh, man. Tijani Reijnders is the first to join this new regime, because Pep doesn't know how to rebuild a squad, does he? He's never done it before. You know what I mean? The 100-point season versus the treble-winning season, those two squads were identical, apparently. No, they weren't. Absolutely very large amount of players were out of that squad compared to the other squad. Absolutely bollocks from mainstream media once again. But let them have their bollocks. Let them have them. Let them have it. Because we'll cram their bollocks right down their throats at the end of the season. Next May, we'll talk. We'll talk about the ability to rebuild a squad, because we're starting right now with Tijani Reijnders. Blues, are you buzzing? Are you absolutely over the moon at the fact that we've signed Tijani Reijnders? Get in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe to Typical City, and I'll see you in the next one.